The video game crash of the 1980s is an interesting study of what not to do. And decades later, we're at another crossroads where the industry has pushed the envelope so far that it may just make customers decide that video games just aren't worth it anymore. The hubris of the video game and technology industry is at an all-time high these days, what with Nvidia and AMD charging roughly $1,000 or more for a graphics card, and Rockstar announcing that they might charge $100 for GTA 6. And now we have word that Nintendo themselves will be charging upwards of $90 for a game now, a $30 increase for their games. I was so disgusted when I heard this, since I missed the Nintendo Direct, so I came here just to make this video without even bothering to research anything else. So I could be wrong about a lot of this, but what I am right about is that video games as a hobby just isn't worth it anymore. Games should not cost $100, and everything in this industry is going up in price. It's bad enough that video games went up to $70 in a generation, but now Nintendo wants to up the ante by charging $80 to $90? So I guess Rockstar really will price GTA 6 at $100. At this point, as a fan of video games, you've just completely priced me out of the market. And if it comes to video games or buying groceries, I'm buying groceries. Fuck a video game at that price. And people can say that, well, back in the day, games used to cost... No, screw that. Back in the day, a lot of things were different. People themselves were different, and a big reason why the video game industry was so small. People had common sense not to buy an $80 video game. Why do you think a lot of SNES games are so rare? Because most people knew that the prices were too much. And you can't even say that that was the norm. Games were around $50 throughout the 80s and 90s and the 2000s. Until the Xbox 360 and the PS3 decided that they were going to charge more. Their greed with Nintendo not being top dog anymore got the better of them. But people paid, and then they paid to play online, which Sony at least were gracious enough not to do, until they realized that gamers were suckers, and then they decided to start charging. Nintendo with the Wii was the outlier, and I suppose they were trying to get back in good graces with the customers by keeping the games at $50 and not charging for online. Until today, that is, where there are more price hikes all across the board, and Nintendo being at the top yet again, that they feel like they can charge $90 for video games. And who gave them that idea that they could? You idiots that buy these games at full price because, what are you, poor? Whether you're rich or poor isn't the issue. The issue is that these prices are inflated for no reason other than they think they can get away with it. And the market has apparently given them reason to think charging such high prices for a PS5 Pro, a graphics card, and a single video game cartridge or disc, even a digital purchase, which should be much cheaper, is a viable strategy for any company. And unfortunately, so far it has been. Whether the high prices are to recoup the losses from selling less product and still be able to say, fastest selling, which means they could sell 100 units really fast, wow, it's nothing. Or most played, like Assassin's Creed Shadows, and yet they still had to sell off their company to Tencent. The industry is floundering, and the high prices are a symptom of it. But if they think I'm going to bail them out by buying their games at $100, they've got another thing coming. It's just not worth it at that price. So the industry will have to change eventually, and I don't think I like where it's headed. We already have subscription services that let you play all of these games for a flat fee. So why not just get that instead of paying for each individual game? And there you have it. The industry will have successfully taken away any ownership of your purchase away from you. And I'd say that you could get a PC and emulate or pirate the games, but if everything is behind a paywall or some kind of online DRM, then it may just get more and more difficult to even do that. As long as people are willing to pay these prices, the prices will go higher and higher, and all the people that just want to relax and play some video games will be priced out. The only ones playing them will be YouTube streamers lucky enough to get a review code for their channel, and I'm not a big enough channel to even do that. So screw video games, I'll play them as long as I'm financially able to, but there will come a point where it just won't be worth it anymore. And that time seems like it's June 2nd, 2025, when the Switch 2 is released at $500 and a $90 Mario Kart that looks no better than the last Mario Kart. Oh, an open world, who cares? It's time to find a new hobby. Everything sucks. Movies, cartoons, video games, what else is there to do? Anyway, Till next time, I guess.